Hello, welcome to the Well. Maria from Bloom, Angela from Grounded Dreamers for our weekly soul guidance reading.
Good morning.
So, good morning. For the week of December 5th, 2022, we're nearing the end of the year.
You're so close.
Yeah.
And this reading will carry us through as we start to prepare to shift into the new year. So, the first card that I pulled is the mountain. And this is going to remind us that getting to, our spiritual leaders a lot, they'll pilgrimage to the top of a mountain peak and rest there and meditate there and gain a higher perspective and see spiritually and physically, all the different components that are out there putting together our experience. And when we pull the mountain here, it may be an indicator that we've sort of lost sight of that bigger picture, and
Mhm.
it's time to climb to that
Mhm.
peak. Sometimes we can get real caught up in the details,
Mhm.
which is very good for achieving things, but we forget to balance that out with a more expanded view. So if you feel a little bogged down by the details right now, it's it's an indicator that it's time to raise that perspective.
Mhm.
Right under that, I pulled Zen cards to root these oracles, and right under the mountain, I pulled the burden. So
Mhm.
this is a mental state where it's just too much. This guy right here is carrying the whole load. He's carrying this one and that, and it's
Mhm.
time right now, as the mountain indicated, it's time to put down, to reshift our focus
Mhm.
away from the little details and the
Mhm.
minutia.
Mhm.
That's this burden card. Those details are crowding our mind.
Mhm.
So it's time to kind of release some of that.
Mhm.
How do we do that? Yeah, that's a conscious effort to take time out, you know, even if it's, oh, I'm getting too cluttered, just to stop and pause and breathe and become an observer of what's happening so that you can kind of create some room for
Mhm.
the situation to get some breath and make a shift. The
Mhm.
next card we pulled is the shift.
Mhm.
And this is transitioning from who you are into who you're becoming. And so that's upon us now, right? The new year is a perfect time to start to consider some of these shifts that we could be going through, whether they be spiritually, you know, um, emotionally, in our actual physical world with goals being set, or anything that you want to make um, a shift for. And I would suggest to just get still every now and then so that you can gain clarity on how to make that happen.
Mhm.
The Zen cards, the tarot cards that I pulled to root the shift are change and consciousness. So
Mhm.
the shift is going to happen, right? The change is constant as depicted by the wheel,
Mhm.
constant movement. And if we want to affect some change in our experience right now, the guidance is to shift to a higher perspective. Again, just like as in the mountain card. And then the final pair that I got was your spiritual journey. And this is a lifelong endeavor. This is not like one straight line. I'm going to get somewhere and arrive there
Mhm.
and now I'm done. Never, right?
Mhm.
It's a
Mhm.
constant shift, like a
Mhm.
dance
Mhm.
between, finding yourself and accepting, who you are right now, and then shifting your sights toward that next step. And it's always on an expansive ascending path.
Mhm. Up
So
leveling.
find who you are, get there, find who you are again, shift and get to the next space. And then the Zen card that I pulled with that is flowering. So this
Mhm.
is the blossoming, the end of this spread is the blossoming of your intentions that you had set
Mhm.
way back in the beginning when you gained your higher perspective with the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Can you hold the card for Burden? I just noticed something about it that I thought was really cool. At the top of his head is a rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's got his arms sort of out, right? So it just makes me think about like a rooster, right? A rooster wakes up early in the morning and, says cock-a-doodle-doo and encourages everyone to rise, right? Rise with the morning sun. I just love that imagery, right? That our burdens can be a call for us to actually rise above them, along with that mountain energy. So
Love
just
it.
love that. So let's pause and go within. Just take a moment to be with this reading. Breathing in, using the breath to oxygenate every cell in the body, and releasing. And then taking a moment to feel your consciousness rising, rising to the top of the mountain that came through from the reading. Maybe hearing that rooster waking you up, singing cock-a-doodle-doo, encouraging you to rise with the sun. And then from this vantage point, just be with the flowering of your life that's happening organically. What do you see? Take a moment to honor what you see, no matter what it is. And just take a moment to offer encouragement to yourself in your journey. And then let's come back to the reading and conclude.
Okay, so the next set of cards are just sort of a forward, let's see, chapter after we've discovered, okay, I'm going to move in a new direction, right? Sometimes as a human being, we get quite frustrated, like we said earlier, with all the details that have to be accomplished or just too much to juggle. And we feel tested. Your commitment is being tested.
Mm-hmm.
This is, your commitment to the shift you've committed to make.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel a little stuck, and I don't really know how this is going to come about. And then we have doubt. Doubt sets in, and it says, "I release the need to know all the answers." Because that could really trip us up, as when, I see the direction I want to go, but I don't really know how. And then you start to feel like giving up. But this is showing that your commitment is being tested. Let the doubt be there, but also the next two cards I pulled from two different decks are change. Mm-hmm. So change is, and remember, we pulled change before as well in the other spread.
And it was last week's lead card.
And it was last week's lead card. Thank you. Yeah. So this first one says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Remember, we saw the movement in this card. It's mm-hmm. constant. And if we are, trying to root ourselves and fight against the natural flow of things, that's when we feel tested and we feel doubtful. So it's letting the movement happen. And this card says, change maker, make waves. So mm-hmm. another version of movement. Let the flow go. Let it be part of your experience. Mm-hmm. And then we have, for those of us who are not quite ready to jump onto that change train. We want to still kind of linger in our doubt, right? We want to kind of hang on to the doubt. Well, then we get reminded that it's time to release negativity. Mm-hmm. And what we had said earlier is, negativity will anchor you in your doubt mm-hmm. and possibly make it grow. So allowing for the release of that. And so how do we do that, right? The next card I pulled is playfulness. Mm-hmm. I would suggest that the way you can work toward releasing your negativity and those burdens on your mind mm-hmm. is to change the subject completely and find an activity or a space or people that you want to be around that bring you joy, whatever it is. Sometimes mm-hmm. I just get up and sing and dance just mm-hmm. to, physically get all that negative energy out of my body. And this is not, remember we said, it's a dance. It's back and forth. It's not just, okay, I'm going to release it all and now I'm healed and I have no more doubt. It's a practice, right? So I would say daily, mm-hmm. find something that you're intentionally, embracing in order to shake it up a little bit and get rid of some of those burdensome thoughts. Hoping that for a time, even temporarily during your day, you can achieve harmony
Hmm.
and find some spiritual balance. And then the final card I pulled is Christ, the miracle. It's just expecting that miracle. And
Hmm.
I forgot, I pulled another card from the first deck, but this will just be an overview to
Oh.
the whole
Mm.
reading is
Mhm.
trust.
Oh,
Trust was
right.
on that first spread, right?
Mm.
And that card says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So
Hmm.
that's beautiful too.
It is
That's kind of
beautiful.
a cap to both of the spreads. So
Mm. Yeah, and you know, I'm feeling and seeing in this something new too, which is really this reading is really about really anchoring intuitively, like healing our relationship with our intuition. And you know, the card that was the harmony card was lighting up the sixth chakra, which is our intuition, right? And that
with dolphins,
dolphin, yeah,
yeah.
that dolphin is lighting up his heart chakra and his sixth chakra, which is aligning, you know, intuitively with our heart, which is the seat of our soul. Such a
And
beautiful.
all the light. See all
Oh
the
yeah,
light
all the light.
dancing. Yeah, they're both
Yeah.
similar in that. That's
Hmm.
this is that negativity being released. It's sprinkling out and showing up in your experience as shifting to joy.
Yeah. Pixie dust.
Even like I said, we're not going to go from doubt and worry and burden to complete joy and everything's fine, right? It's
Right.
just let yourself do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And right, just a short diversion.
Hmm.
um it will still loosen up that energy and get you
Yeah.
to a different vibration.
Yeah, well, and that's what the energy of play allows for. You know, the playfulness card, it's the, you know, play is a quality of self energy, capital S self energy in internal family systems. It's one of the five P's. And it's just so essential actually for neuroplasticity. And I think about my dog. You know, as soon as my dog sees me, you know, she's like, let's play. And
Mhm.
she'll, you know, she'll grab a toy or she'll shake it out and then she'll grab it, you know, and so we have so much to learn from that. So it's beautiful. And I was saying earlier too that doubt plays an essential role, really. I mean, if it weren't for doubt, you know, we wouldn't be, you know, we wouldn't grow in our spiritual journey. Doubt is a way to kind of guide us in our seeking spirit, and it's such an important quality, but we don't want to give it more than it's due, otherwise it just becomes more of a burden that we're being called to release. So
And
beautiful.
interesting the way you describe that too is those
Mhm.
cards came side by side. So
Right.
the doubt, respond to the doubt with change, make the movement happen. That's where the
Yeah.
growth is, right? But
Yeah.
you're right, that doubt has to be present in order for us to even know there is a question as to how to proceed. We have to know, oh,
Yeah.
I need clarity right now. Let
It's
I
like the rooster. The rooster is calling us to wake up, and that's what we can do from the trance of doubt. Doubt creates a trance, and we need to wake up from that trance so we can, oh, okay, you know, all is well.
yeah, yeah.
Mm, beautiful. So let's be with this. Just take a moment and feel into your own system, your inner child, if you will, and invite her to play. Maybe take her hand and maybe say, let's go out and play, or his hand, or let's go out and play. And just see where that spirit of play brings you. Maybe it brings you to a sandbox, or a playground, or a special memory as a child or as an adult. So just play with that concept. And take a moment to complete this practice today by making a wish in the well, and let that be your intention. And so it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much.